Good morning, students. From your Vistas book, we are doing chapter number 6 On the Face of It, written by Suzanne Hill. Suzanne Hill is a prolific writer and has authored many novels, collection of short stories, and children's fiction. She is a revered critic, reviewer, and editor. She became interested in theatre very early in her life and she liked the sound and smells of theatre. The play On the Face of It is a one act play having three scenes. It features only two characters, an old man and a 14-year-old boy. Both of them suffer from physical impairment. The old man has a tin leg because he got one of his legs blown off in the war. The young boy Derry has one side of his face disfigured and burnt by acid. The play depicts the disappointment and loneliness of a physically impaired person. The sense of alienation is more inconvenient than the physical disability. This is a play featuring an old man and a small boy meeting in farmer's garden. The old man strikes up a friendship with the boy who is very withdrawn and defiant. What is the bond that unites the two? So this play On the Face of It is featuring an old man, that is Mr. Lamb, and a small boy, that is Derry. They are meeting in Mr. Lamb's garden. The man begins a friendship with this boy, and this boy is very hesitant. He is quiet, he is shy boy, and he is openly disobeys. That is, defiant means he does not agree to many of the things said by Mr. Lamb. Now, what is the similarity between the two that unites them, or the reason that they strike a friendship with each other? Mr. Lamb's garden, there is the occasional sound of bird song and of tree leaves rustling. Derry's footsteps are heard as he walks slowly and tentatively through the long grass. He pauses, then walks on again. He comes around a screen of bushes so that when Mr. Lamb speaks to him, he is close at hand and Derry is startled. So, Mr. Lamb, garden we have been told, and there is the sounds of the birds singing and the low sounds of the tree leaves rustling. Now, Derry's footsteps are heard. He is walking very slowly, very stealthily, very cautiously, and hesitatingly. He enters in the garden in the long grass, and he is walking and then takes a pause and walks again. And when he walks, comes to the screen of bushes, Mr. Lamb was close by. Mr. Lamb speaks to him, and Derry was startled. He was shocked. Mr. Lamb, mind the apples. What? Who's that? Who's there? Lamb's my name. Mind the apples. Crab apples those are. Wind falls in the long grass. You could trip. Aye, there. I thought this was an empty place. I didn't know there was anybody here. So Mr. Lamb talks to this young boy saying, mind the apples, that is, be careful when you walk in this grass. And Derry, who thought that there's nobody who's there, who was startled at the voice of someone, so he is hesitant and he questions, who's there? Whose voice is this? Mr. Lamb introduces himself, that Lamb's my name, and he says, be careful of the apples, crab apples those are. Crab apples are bitter apples, he says, but those are crab apples. Wind falls, that is, the apples were blown down by the wind from the trees. You could trip, that is, if your foot catches on those apples, you would fall. You can fall down, you can trip. So be careful when you walk. There, I thought this was an empty place. So this boy, who was all startled with somebody over there in the garden, he says, I thought the place was empty. I didn't know there was anybody here. So he's very hesitant and says, I never knew somebody might be here. Mr. Lamb, that's all right. I'm here. What are you afraid of, boy? That's all right. Derry, I thought it was empty, an empty house. Mr. Lamb, so it is. Since I'm out here in the garden, it is empty until I go back inside. In the meantime, I'm out here and likely to stop. A day like this, beautiful day, not a day to be indoors. So, Derry comes into the garden of Mr. Lamb and he notices that somebody was there. He got afraid and he says that he got afraid and he says that he thought that the place was empty. Mr. Lamb realizes that he got afraid of seeing somebody in the garden. So he says, you do need not be afraid. That's just okay. It's just me sitting in the garden. So Derry explains that he entered in the garden because he thought that the place was empty. In fact, the house is empty. Mr. Lamb says, yes, definitely. He's the only one in the garden, and yes, it is empty, and it's a beautiful, pleasant day. It is not a day to be indoors in the house. So he's sitting. So ultimately, the house is empty because he's sitting outside in the garden, and he says it's a beautiful day to be enjoyed in the garden rather than being indoors. Derry, panic. I've got to go. Mr. Lamb, not on my account. I don't mind who comes into the garden. The gate's always open. Only you climb the garden wall. Derry, angry. You were watching me? Now Derry says, I need to go. He gets panicky and he says, I need to go. Now Mr. Lamb says he wants to comfort the boy. He wants to comfort him that it's just me, it's just the garden, the house is empty, and you need not get panic, you need not get afraid. And they says he not on my account, that is, it's not me asking you to leave. You can stay. And then he says that many people come in the garden. The gate of the garden is always open for the people to come. It's just that you came through the garden wall. Now when Mr. Lamb says to Derry that you came through the garden wall, climbing a garden wall, Derry got annoyed. Derry was annoyed for being pointed out like in this manner. So he says, you were watching me, means you were noticing that I'm climbing the wall and coming. Mr. Lamb, I saw you, but the gate's open. All welcome. You are welcome. I sit here. I like sitting. I had not come to steal anything. No, no, the young lad steals. Crumb the apples. You're not so young. So now, when Mr. Lamb says that the gate is always open and people are welcome to come and sit here, and say Derry is giving an explanation that yes, I did climb a wall and came, but then I did not come to steal anything. So Mr. Lamb says, no, no, that is, I never pointed that you are here to steal anything. Many young boys, they come to steal, they try to steal the apples, crumb the apples, steal the apple fruits from the garden, but then you are not so young to steal anything. So Derry says, I just wanted to come into the garden. So you did. Here we are then. You don't know who I am. A boy, 13 or so. 14. But I've got to go now. Goodbye. Now Derry says that yes, I wanted to come in the garden. I did not come here to steal. I just wanted to be here. So Mr. Lamb says, you are here then. So you need not be afraid. Be comfortable. Be okay. Don't be panicky. Don't be afraid. So Derry says, you don't know me. Means you're welcoming me. You're trying to comfort me. So you don't even know who I am. So Mr. Lamb casually says, you're a boy. You're just 13. So Derry says, no, that he's not 13, he's a 14-year-old boy. And then he says, I would like to go. And I got to go. And he says goodbye to Mr. Lamb. Mr. Lamb, nothing to be afraid of, just a garden, just me. But I'm not afraid. People are afraid of me. So Mr. Lamb again tries to comfort him, make him at ease, and says that when he's saying that I want to leave, I should go, he realizes that Derry is getting hesitant. He's not comfortable. So he says, don't be hesitant. It's just garden. It's just me sitting over here. Don't be afraid. So Derry says, I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of anyone. But then people are afraid of me and my presence. Why should that be? Now, Mr. Lamb wants to know, why should people be afraid of you? You're just a boy of 14. Everyone is. It doesn't matter who they are or what they say or how they look, how they pretend. I know, I can see. So Derry says that everyone is. That is all people. All people are afraid of Derry. Who they are, that is, who these people are or what they are saying or how they look, it does not matter whether the people is a rich or a poor, when it comes to race, when it comes to color, when it comes to strata. Who they are does not matter. What matters is I can see that how they are pretending, how on the face they pretend things, and I know and I can see it. I know, I understand that they are afraid of me. I can see that they are afraid of me. Now this shows the negative side of Derry, that he knows that what people think of him, or he knows that what people are afraid of him. See what? Now Mr. Lamb was not able to understand what people see on him, what they think. What do they think then? You think, here's a boy. You look at me, and then you see my face and you think, that's bad. That's a terrible thing. That's the ugliest thing I ever saw. You think, poor boy. But I'm not poor. Underneath, you are afraid. Anybody would be. I am. When I look in the mirror and you see it, I'm afraid of me. So, Mr. Lamb wants to know that this young boy of 14 believes that people are afraid of him, and then he can understand that how people feel pity on him, they get scared of him. So he questions that what does people think about him. So he says that they think. You here does not specifically mean Mr. Lamb. You here stands for everybody. It implies everybody. It means people. People, when they look at Derry, they get afraid. When they look at Derry, they show pity to him, saying that thing on the face is a terrible thing. They show pity on him, saying he's a poor boy. So, and they announce that it is the ugliest thing they've ever seen. So Derry says what? That I am not afraid of people. People pretend something on face, but underneath under their hearts, under their soul, under their minds, somewhere in their thoughts, they are afraid of me. They are afraid to talk to me. They are afraid in my company. And anybody would, in fact, if he sees himself in the mirror, even he gets scared. He is afraid of himself. So what is there on Derry's face that makes people afraid of him, or that makes Derry think that people are afraid and scared of him, or not wanting to be in his company?